Dawn crossbow builds, yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to Grim Dawn Crossbow Builds, where all we talk about are crossbow builds for Grim Dawn. Today we're looking at a Sentinel, which is the combination of an occultist and an oathkeeper. We're using the Mythical Quillthrower of Dreeg. This character is using Dreeg's Evil Eye, similar to our character in episode 11, but this version is easier to put together. It doesn't include any Shattered Realm exclusive items or conduit amulets, and all of our damage is acid and poison. Our buffs are the Guardians of Empyrean and Blood of Dreeg. On right click is Curse of Frailty for acid resistance reduction, and on left click is Dreeg's Evil Eye. Let's look at our skills. As you might expect, we are mainly an occultist with the whole Dreeg's Evil Eye line hard-capped. The base skill triggers Rumor for acid resistance reduction. Blood Burst gives us 85% weapon damage. Terrifying Gaze gives crowd control and crit damage. And Vile Eruption is a big AoE effect. Our first aura is Soleil's Witchfire. This chaos damage is mostly converted to acid, and we like the defensive ability buff. Its modifier second right gives us flat vitality damage, also converted to acid and crit damage. Our second aura and healing buff is Blood of Dreeg, offering more weapon damage, OA, and health regen. Aspect of the Guardian scales our acid damage, overcaps our acid resistance, and also gives physical resistance. Our main debuff spell is Curse of Frailty, which slows enemies. We have a few extra points in the base skill to increase the radius. This triggers the Cleansing Waters devotion. Its modifier, Vulnerability, shreds enemy DA and acid resistance. On the Oathkeeper side, the main attractions are Path of the Three to scale our acid damage and trigger Fetid Pool, and the Guardians of Empyrean. We're not concerned with their damage, so we just have 1 point here. We've also got 1 point in Scion of Dreeg to convert their resistance shred to acid and vitality, and a bunch of points in Celestial Presence to scale their debuff. Finally, we have some minor investment in the Oathkeeper defensive skills. Presence of Virtue gives us some minor buffs and triggers Giant's Blood. Haven scales our health and our healing effects, and Rebuke gives us some Reflect Resist. 1 point in Resilience gives us a minor Circuit Breaker. This is not going to save your life, but it is nice. Ascension is much more impactful. The flat damage absorption goes a long way, and it also scales our damage, so this is a bit above the soft cap. Clarity of Purpose also has a few points in it, scaling our OA and giving us secondary resistances. We're relying on this to cap our freeze resistance, so it's good to have Ascension up when you're going in to fight Musalaki. And now for our devotions. We're favoring defensive constellations here because this character already has offense covered quite well. You can start out with a point in yellow to take the crane for some good early resistances, then a point in purple to take the empty throne, which I seem to always take. I just love having ether, chaos, stun, freeze, and pierce resistance all in one place. If you don't like this one, feel free to take another purple point constellation. We're also going to need all of the other affinity colors so you can finish out the crossroads, and take whichever green, blue, and red beginning constellations you like. I typically use the Spider for green points, Sailor's Guide for blue points, and Vulture for red points. With those in place, you can take Chariot of the Dead for defensive bonuses and a healing buff. I have this bound to our Relic aura. You can also take Behemoth for health regen, another one of my favorites. Feel free to substitute Harvestman's Scythe if you like that better. Naturally, we're going to take Mistress of Rumors for the Rumor debuff. These upper 2 stars kinda suck, so I left them out. Right below Murmur is Affliction, which is actually really good for this build because we have Vitality to Acid conversion and retaliation damage added to attack with Dreeg's Evil Eye. From here we can go up and take Ulo for some great resistances and the Cleansing Waters proc. After that, we almost have enough yellow points for the Scales of Ulkama, but you'll first need something like the Lion or the Dryad. When you finish the Scales, it can rely on its own affinity. The Tip the Scales ability gives us massive energy leech and some extra resistance reduction. By this point you'll probably be getting to the end game, so you can start refunding some of those unnecessary constellations and working towards Kraken and Hydra for the crossbow bonuses. Let's check out our items. First off, look at that drip. This is a great looking character with hardly any use of the illusionist. The second thing I want to point out is that we're stacking massive weapon damage on Dreeg's Evil Eye. In addition to the baseline 85% on Bloodburst, we've got another 36% on our helm, 36% on our amulet, and 12% on our medal. That gives us well over 100% weapon damage, making a two-hander an attractive option. Our weapon of choice is the Mythical Quillthrower of Dreeg, with flat acid damage, chaos to acid conversion, health, DA, casting speed, and buffs to Celestial Presence and all occultist skills. The Eye of the Guardian proc is not super impressive, but it is very fun. Our first ring is the Ring of Shurath. This is quite hard to get, but it's necessary to cap our vitality to acid conversion. It comes from the Court of the Magi inside the Morganeth skeleton key area, and it will only drop from Magi Shurath. In addition to the conversion, it's got flat acid damage, casting speed, pierce and bleed resistance, and buffs to Path of the Three and Vile Eruption. While you're looking for this, a Viloth's ring would also serve nicely. Our second ring is the Mythical Ring of Vile Intent. This is being used to hard cap Bloodburst and Terrifying Gaze. It's also got good resistances and lots of spirit. Our helm is the Voice of Dreeg. This is a very cool helm that can be crafted from a blueprint. The main attraction, as I mentioned, is weapon damage to Dreeg's Evil Eye. It also buffs all occultist skills and Path of the Three. Our amulet is Ronaprax's Sting, which comes from one of the Wasp bosses. This adds weapon damage and retaliation damage to Dreeg's Evil Eye. Our affixes here are pretty good, with Incorruptible giving defensive bonuses, and Of Celerity increasing our casting speed. Our shoulder piece is the Mythical Mantle of Dreeg. We're using this to convert vitality to acid damage and to hard cap Terrifying Gaze and Bloodburst. This is part of the Deception of Dreeg set, so you can craft the helm and transmute it into the shoulder piece. If you're not able to find this, you can also use the Mythical Alchemist's Mantle. That also gives vitality to acid conversion. The glove slot is pretty flexible on this build. I wound up going with Emberguard Gauntlets because I got a pretty good double rare. This doesn't buff acid damage at all, but it's got really good resistances, a little bit of casting speed, and +2 to second right. You might also consider the Mythical Viper Fang grips for this slot if your resistances are already good. For boots, we've got the Mythical Vilescorn Greaves. These are mainly used to cap Terrifying Gaze and our stun resistance. For the medal, we have the Mark of Lethal Intents, squeezing out a little more weapon damage on Dreeg's Evil Eye and also adding some flat damage to it. These can also be made from a blueprint, which you can buy from the Coven of Ugdenbog faction vendor. Our belt is the Mythical Pack of Deadly Means. This is our main source of vitality to acid conversion. It also buffs Bloodburst and all Oathkeeper skills. For our relic, we've got Meditation. This buffs Oathkeeper skills and gives us a very nice aura. For pants, we've got the Venom Skin Leg Wraps. These add 6 points to the Dreeg's Evil Eye line of skills, and they also happen to be the only item that overlaps between this build and my Chaos Dreeg's Evil Eye build. To round this out, we've got the Mythical Vestments of the Great Guardian in the armor slot. This adds 8 points to the Dreeg's Evil Eye line, gives us a big OA buff, and converts chaos to acid damage. I'm going to skip the leveling section in this video, because I already gave some tips for Acid Dreeg's Evil Eye leveling in episode 11. Please check out the leveling section in that video if you're interested. We're gonna roll straight into an SR32 run.